This is probably not safe or OSHA approved, but you gotta teach them. What is up, Shy Guys? Just want to give a quick update. We're out at the property. It's Saturday. We've done a little bit of work. We've done a little bit of work off camera. Had a couple family members come out last weekend, and we got the water line put in. So I'll flip y'all around and show you that, and some other things that we've got done and what's to be expected in the next couple weeks. All right, so as you can see right here, you can see all those stumps. We just cut this stuff out. We're trying to get the power lines to come in on this side of the driveway and then come around to our pole. So we cut all that back. That stake right there with the white flag on it behind that propane tank, that's kind of roughly that one and that one down there where I think we can make it work with the power lines. But I've got a engineer from Energy that's got to come out, check everything out, approve the pole, and then we can go from there as far as getting power out here. As far as the water, last weekend we dug a trench, or well, we rented a trencher, and you can see way up there by the road, the water line sticking out, and it runs down. There's actually a shut off. I bought 100-foot rolls, so there's actually a shut off right here, and that'll kind of be a main shut off without having to go all the way up to the meter at the road. And then it runs down and comes out here, and that's where it's actually going to feed up into the house. The only thing I wish I would have done before I buried this was put a spigot coming up out of the ground, but it's not the end of the world. I can put one on the outside of the house, plumbed off of the water lines in the house. But so you've got that stake right there. It goes down to that stake with the green on it, and that's kind of the front of the house. Let me zoom out. So right there, and then to the other side of the burn pile is where we'll be parking and stuff like that. So I've got a buddy coming out next weekend, and he will bring a tractor with him, and we're gonna get the driveway kind of flattened out a little better, and right here where the parking is gonna be, we're gonna flatten that out a little better, add some dirt, and then we're going to start trying to flatten out this spot where the house is going to go. Now, it's not that unlevel, but we want to get it as level as possible just because it is a building. It's going to be sitting on blocks, and we don't want one side having 4 blocks under it and one side having 1, just so that it's even. But anyways, so that's the plan. Once we get that done, the weekend after that, we'll actually get the gravel brought in. Once we get the gravel brought in...
How's that?
That's a fire. Once we get the gravel brought in, things will really start moving, because after the gravel is brought in, I can call the people that we have the building through and actually do a schedule to get it moved out here. And then once we get it moved out here, I still got to do the perk and so that we can get a water meter out here. But once we get the perk test done and the building out here, we will have lights and water, and then we'll just have to worry about septic. So y'all stay tuned. I'll film a little bit of what we're doing out here just for today, but it's pretty much just trying to get that big pile that we cut down out of the driveway. So we're burning it right here. It's a little further away from the trees. But yeah, stay tuned. All right, Shy Guys, so we've got quite a bit done today. Started working on the pad, cleared some trees out, got the driveway built up. About to get dark, so we're gonna pick this up tomorrow, but I just want to give you an update of what's going on, what we've got done today. So here it is. So this is where the house is gonna sit. We started leveling this off, just using dirt from around the property. We will come back with a city pit. It's like a fill, or not a fill, a base. And then that'll get hard for the house to sit on. And we'll pack that in real good. We've graded out a little bit. That's what Anthony's working on now on the tractor. We're just smoothing stuff out. Filled in this trench, got it smoothed out. This one is the one the water pipe's actually in. It rained a few days last week and it like settled a lot, so we had to go back through and put some more dirt in it. And next time it rains, it'll settle more, and hopefully that'll be the last time we fill it in. But so here's a better angle of the pad. So the house will go here. That's the light pole there. To the left of it, kind of where Anthony's working right now, is where we're going to actually have a carport, park our vehicles there. And then up this way is where you come into the property on the driveway. So you can see we've got this not perfectly flat. I know you can't tell on video, but it's pretty good for just messing with it a little bit today. We've graded the driveway a little bit. We've added dirt to this whole side. This side was higher. We didn't really touch it much. So let's see. That's where our water meter will come in. We haven't got that done yet. This is the main part of the driveway coming in off the road. It's got some ruts in it right now. We'll have to come back over it and smooth it out. This is all wet. We've had rain 2-3 days this week, or this last week. But this is a pile of dirt that we've dug out, and that's where we've been getting all the dirt from. So, but yeah, it's just a quick update real quick. We'll get back with you tomorrow. My father-in-law's coming out. He's a lot better on a tractor than I am. So he's gonna help us get this pad smoothed out. And then next week, we will be bringing in the city pit. We're gonna lay it all the way down the driveway and on the pad. Once we get that done, I'm trying to get a hold of the people to actually get the building moved at the moment. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and it's just time. It's like I'm waiting on the people for the Power Energy to get back a hold of me. I'm waiting on them. As soon as they can get a hold of me, we'll have power out here. And as soon as I can get somebody out to do the perk test, we can get a water meter out here. And then the last step is septic, once we get the building out and start finishing the inside of it. So I know it's been a long journey. There's been a lot of not making videos, long spans at a time. It's just, I mean, it's a time and money game. Just getting everybody lined up and having the money to do everything, because we are doing this pretty much out of pocket here and there as much as we can, because, you know, our goal is to have all this paid off in 5 years. So we've already had it a year, so 4 years from now, and just not have to worry about land, a house to live in. We can focus more on getting animals and raising our own food and growing our own food, and that's just kind of where we're headed at the moment, is just being able to be more self-sufficient, making things from scratch, everything of that nature. So y'all stay tuned for tomorrow. As soon as we get out of church, we'll come up here and we're gonna get some more stuff done, and we'll keep you updated on that. So stay tuned. What is up, Shy Guys? So this video is going to be like 2 weeks worth of work. We're just trying to get it done while we got this tractor, and trying to get the house out here as soon as we can get a day figured out between us and the guy moving it. We're going to get it moved out here. So it's Tuesday now. Thursday I got to meet the perk people out here. We're going to get a perk test done. That'll allow us to get the water meter. And then also Thursday we're meeting Energy, and they are coming out to discuss where we're going to put the poles and to okay the service pole that we had put in. But I just wanted to give you a quick update real quick before it gets dark on where we're at the moment. I'm kind of in a rush the next couple of days with working and coming out here, because I've got one more day with this tractor and I got to get the rest of the city pit spread out where we're going to be parking and everything. So I'm gonna turn y'all around and show you everything that we've done so far. So this is starting up on the road coming into the property. We've gotten some city pit laid. It's not pretty. This stuff was actually, the more you drive on it, the harder it gets, the more it rains on it, packs it in. It's really gonna be the best thing to have as a base on this driveway and under the house and where we're gonna be parking. So you can pull in here. We'll come back over this with something nicer, SB2, some kind of gravel that'll look a little nicer once we get to that point. I want to do railroad ties all the way down the driveway when we get to that. So you come down the driveway. This is the tractor we're using. It's a New Holland TC30. It's a 30 horsepower, and it's a pretty tough little thing. We've done a lot of work with it in the last 2 weeks, but as you can see, we got a little bit of a pile left. But as you come in, you'll see on the other side of where JT's standing, kind of in the front middle, that's what I'm working on now. The spot where we'll eventually have a carport. We had to dig up a line. I don't know if you can see that pipe sticking out and that pipe sticking out. So that's for that propane tank. It's going to be on the opposite side of where we park, just to make sure it's plenty far enough away from the house. And then the pad is done as far as I'm concerned. The only thing we have a concern about, my wife brought up, is when they bring in the building, we might have to move a few railroad ties out of the way, just because on the left side right here, it drops off a little bit. We had to build it up to make it level. And then on the far side, when they bring the actual machine in, which we'll video all that. And if you watched one of our first videos, it should be in there of them actually moving it. But yeah, that's what we got done so far. Y'all bear with me. I'm just gonna put all this into one video, and we'll kind of make a compilation of everything we've done the last 2 weeks. And yeah, so stay tuned for tomorrow. All right, what's up, Shy Guys? So right now I'm just waiting. We're the perk test people are on their way out here, so I'm just waiting on them. They should be here at 9:30, and then Energy is going to be here at 10:30 to look at the pole and discuss where they're going to put their poles. So y'all stay tuned. It's probably not going to be a lot of talking. I'm just going to set my camera up somewhere and just video kind of the process of what they're doing. And yeah, y'all stay tuned. It's exciting. As soon as we get the perk test approved, we can get water ran down to the house. And so once we get the house out here, we'll be able to get all the plumbing topped off and done, and be one step closer to being out here. So y'all stay tuned. What's up, Shy Guys? So it's later on in the evening. I had to go back to work, and we just got done for the day. We came back out when I got off. Did a little bit of progress at the front. I'll get to the perk test in a minute. But I'll just turn you around so you can see what we've done so far. So cleared out a little bit, I guess the tree line between the road. We got the driveway completely as smooth as I can get it. I'm not exactly an equipment operator, but I'm happy with it. It's good enough to drive on. It'll get hard over time, and then we can come back in with some pretty gravel. And then I went down this side. It's pretty muddy right there, so I couldn't get it real smooth, but got the trees pushed back against the tree line and just cleaned it up a little bit. But walk down here. So the parking pad spot, whatever you want to call it, I got to get about 6 more railroad ties. I'm gonna go around, let's see where we're at. I'm gonna go around the propane tank with railroad ties also and fill that in with gravel. But I also have to bring out, that one done got crooked, but I got to bring that out, another railroad tie, and then a half of one on both sides for that to be done. I went over the pad with the box blade, just trying to smooth it out a little bit. It's not real smooth, but they're gonna put it on blocks anyways. As long as we can get it level where the actual block is sitting, it'll be fine. Got the water pipe sticking out of there. Now on to the perk test. So on to the perk test. We didn't get bad news, but we didn't exactly get good news. They dug 2 holes, or well, they've dug 4 holes. 2 of them was real shallow. One of the problems out here at this property is we have a really high water table, or low ground level, however you want to say it. So we were worried about the soil being too wet once you started digging down, and we kind of saw that on the 2 smaller holes that they did. We came up a little higher, kind of ground level with the house, and he's 50-50 on whether or not the inspector is actually going to pass it. The hole behind me, I'll turn you around. The hole behind me is higher than ground level. We don't really want to go with this option because we would have to pump to the septic tank. But the soil does look a little bit better up here, just because it's a little higher. But they mapped it out for the leach lines and the tank itself for this hole. But like I said, he's about 50-50 on whether or not the inspector is going to okay it. Don't get in there. Get out of there. I don't exactly know what I'm looking at, but he was showing me that there's spots in the actual soil. I don't know if you can see that spot down there. It's kind of a darker color. That's what they're looking for, I guess. And also this darker spot here is better soil than actually down here. So he's about 50-50 on whether or not the guy's gonna pass it. We're hoping that they do, just because we can shoot straight out and then our leach lines would go out that way. And it would be a gravity system. So we're praying that the good Lord blesses us with good enough soil to get the gravity system, so that they can, or so they'll okay that hole for the gravity system. But if not, we're looking at a pump system, which is going to cost an extra $3,000 on top of what a regular system would cost, and we don't exactly want to pay that. The reason that we're doing the things the way we're doing it out here is it's a little cheaper, it's more cost effective. Everybody can do it on their own scale, and you don't have to have great credit or a whole bunch of money put back. I mean, I've got terrible credit, my wife's got terrible credit, and I mean, we started out, we don't have any savings when we jumped into this, anything like that. So a lot of it's just out of pocket money when we get it, and when we have extra. And so that's why it's taken so long. We've had the property about a year now, and the building. And so that's where we're at right now on that. But some good news, Energy came out. I don't know if you can see these stakes. I'll zoom in. That stake in the middle right here and back there are going to come off of the main pole on the road. Let's see if it'll zoom on it. So that pole out there, it'll come to there, and then come into our service. So he said 2 weeks, possibly, we'll get the power out here. They'll get their poles set. They got to put a transformer on the actual pole, and then we'll have electricity. And then the house, I'm waiting on a response, but we've got the guy lined up to actually move the building out here, which is exciting. It's what we've been working towards since we bought this property. And as soon as he gives us a thumbs up and we find a good dry day, we're gonna get the building out here, perk tested or not. I know some of you think that's might be not a good idea. There is other options. If the land doesn't perk, they're just a lot more costly. But you know, we're gonna do what we have to do. We love this place. It's quiet. We don't have a lot of neighbors. I think the smallest acreage out here is 3. So you got a good little distance between each of your neighbors. And I mean, we love it when we stay out here. Once we get the water and the power, we're planning on possibly using a camper and staying out here. That way I get off work, it's not such a drive, because right now I'm getting off work 2:30, 3 o'clock, driving out here until 6 or 7 or 8, and then going back home. And it's probably a 30-minute drive from our property to where we're staying at the moment. So the gas is adding up a little bit, but we've only got the tractor for so long, and we're trying to get everything done that we can while we have it. Get everything prepared for when the building comes out. But that's a little update. I know this is probably going to be a longer video, but I'm just going to put it all in together once we get to a stopping point. And then the next video is going to be us moving the house, so that's going to be pretty awesome. So y'all stay tuned. I don't know where I'll end this video off, but yeah, we're blessed. We thank God every day for that little one, even though he gives us a headache sometimes. But all seriousness, we couldn't be more blessed. Whether we got money or we don't got money, we got family, and we got a little bit of land that we could do something with, and that's all we can ask for in life. But yeah, y'all stay tuned.